Moroccan Darija, come take a seat for the culture, feel the beat.
Hello and welcome to this video that is part of Grammar in Darija series. In today's video, we are going to be talking about modal verbs in Darija. First of all, we should know that modal verbs in Darija, they don't work the same way like in English. Yet, the ideas behind them exist. The verb khas translates into all of the following in English: to need, have to, must or should or ought to. It is conjugated by adding the object pronouns to the end of the verb. If you don't know yet the object pronouns, I recommend watching this video on our YouTube channel. Now, let me show you how we conjugate khas with all the pronouns that we have in Darija. First, I said khas is used with all the pronouns, as you can see on the table. Khas, 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 etc. The only thing that changes is the object pronoun, okay? So every pronoun has its own object pronouns. So if you want to say I need to, I have to, I must, you'd say khas and then ni. So ni refers to me. I need. Khasni, khasni. I need to, I have to, I should, I must, all of that. If you want to say you need to, you have to, you must, you'd say khas, k at the end. There is a K. Khaasak, you have to. Khaasak. He needs, he has, he must, she had something, would say khaaso. Khaaso, khaaso. She needs, she has to, she must. Khasha, khasa, khasa. We need to, we have to, we must, blah, 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 blah. Khasna, khasna, khasna. You all need, you all have or must do something. Khaskum, khaskum, khaskum. They need or they have to or they must do something. Khashum, khashum, khashum. Okay? Now, when khas is followed by a verb, meaning to say, I have to go, for example, I have to eat, you need to sleep, etc., 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 we don't conjugate khas. Okay? Khas remains the same. Khas with all pronouns. Okay? But the second verb has to be conjugated in the present tense, but without the prefix ka. Okay? Look at the example that we have here. I work is ka nkhdem, kan nkhdem. Okay? But if I want to say I need to work, or I have to work, or I must work, or I should work, I say khas. Remember, we said we don't conjugate khas here. Khas ni nkhdem. So you see the verb is without ka here. Nkhdem. I'm not saying kan nkhdem. Okay? We say خاصني, I have to. نخدم, خاصني, نخدم. Okay? Now on this table, we have the conjugation of verb to work, okay, with all the pronouns in present tense. I work, ka نخدم, ka نخدم. You work, ka تخدم, ka تخدم. He works, ka يخدم, ka يخدم. She works, ka تخدم, ka تخدم. We work, ka نخدمو, ka نخدمو. You all work, ka تخدمو, ka تخدمو, ka تخدمو. They work, ka يخدمو, ka يخدمو. Okay? So as you can see, the conjugation with all the pronouns, the verb starts with ka. Okay? That ka we're gonna get rid of when it's like preceded by khas. Okay? Now on this table we have examples like I need to work, I have to work, I must work, I should work, you need to work, you have to work, etc., etc., etc. So the first example, I need to work or I have to work, etc. خاصني نخدم. You see? نخدم. There is no ka. We're not saying كنخدم or خاصني كنخدم. No. خاصني نخدم. You have to work. خاصك تخدم. خاصك تخدم. Okay? He needs to work or he has to work. خاصو يخدم. خاصو يخدم. She has to work. خاصها تخدم. She has to work. She needs to work. She must work. خاصها تخدم. Okay? We have to work. خاصنا نخدمو. خاصنا نخدمو. You all have to work. خاصكم تخدمو. خاصكم تخدمو. They need to work or they have to work or they must work. خاصهم يخدمو. خاصهم يخدمو. Now let's see some more examples. I need to go now. خاصني نمشي دابا. So normally when we say I go, we say نمشي. كان نمشي. But because it's after خاصني, so no for نمشي. خاصني نمشي. I have to go. خاصني نمشي دابا. Okay? And remember, when we say خاصني نمشي, the meaning could be I need to go, I have to go, I must go, I should go, all of that. Okay? In Darija, there is no difference. You need to sleep early. خاصك تنعس بكري. خاصك تنعس بكري. If you were saying this to a woman, you'd say خاصك نعسي بكري. خاصك نعسي بكري. I need to learn Darija well. خاصني نتعلم للدارجة مزيان. خاصني نتعلم للدارجة مزيان. Okay? On this table, we have some more examples, but this time negative. For example, I shouldn't eat now. I should not eat now. ما خصنيش ناكل دابا. ما خصنيش. I don't need. ما خصنيش ناكل دابا. You shouldn't stay up late. ما خصكش تسهر. ما خصكش تسهر. If you're saying this to a girl, you say ما خصكش تسهري. ما خصكش تسهري. He shouldn't smoke. ما خصوش يكمي. ما خصوش يكمي. Okay? Now, as you can see, when we negate خص, we have ما, and then خص plus the object pronoun خاصني, خاصك, خاصو, etc. And then sh. ما خاصنيش. ما خاصكش. You don't need to. You don't have to. ما خاصوش, etc. Okay? We have seen now how to use خاص plus a verb. Now let's see how can we use خاص plus nouns. Okay? If خاص is followed by a noun, it only means and expresses to need, like you need something. Okay? For example, خاصني الماء. That means I need water. The meaning cannot be I have to water or I must water. That's wrong, yeah? So خاصني الماء, that would be I need water. خاصني ستيلو, I need a pen. خاصني ستيلو. خاصك طموبيلة, you need a car. خاصك طموبيلة. خاصو دفتر, he needs a notebook. خاصو دفتر. خاصها تليفون, she needs a phone. خاصها تليفون. Okay? So we said خاص plus a noun, the meaning is always need. Okay? Cannot mean anything else but to express the need to or for something. Now let's say خاص in the past, like if you want to say I needed to do something or I had to do something. To express that, خاص is formed by adding the verb can before it. Okay, we have to add the verb can, which is verb to be, in the past tense, before خاص, okay? But you don't have to conjugate can if خاص is followed by another verb, okay? If خاص is followed by a noun, however, can must agree in gender and number with that noun. And about this one, we have a remark that I'm going to tell you at the end, okay? Now, let's see some examples of خاص in the past tense plus a verb, okay? So, for example, I had to go would be كان خاصني نمشي. كان خاصني نمشي. Now, in the beginning of the verb, we have seen خاصني نمشي. It means I have to go or I need to go. But to make it in the past, we put can before. So كان خاصني نمشي. I had to go. كان خاصني ننعس. I had to sleep. كان خاصني ننعس. Okay. كان خاصك تخدم. You had to work. كان خاصك تخدم. So خاصك تخدم means you have to work. But if I want to say this in the past, like you had to work, I need can before. So I say كان خاصك تخدم. Okay. Now let's see خاص in the past when it's followed by a noun. Okay. We said that when it is followed by a noun, then can must agree in gender and number with that noun. Okay. For example, كان خاصني كتاب. I needed a book. Okay. So here we are saying can, first of all, because كتاب is one book, singular, and it's a masculine word. That's why we're saying can. Okay. The second example, كانت خاصني مكانة. The fact that the word مكانة is feminine, we're saying كانت. Okay. كانت. And then خاصة ends with a to make it feminine. So كانت خاصاني مكانة. I needed a watch. If you have something or you're talking about something in plural, look, كانوا خاصين خاصيني الفلوس. كانوا, because it's فلوس, it's plural. خاصين, we added I and N to make it plural. خاصين, and then ni for the object pronoun. So كانوا خاصيني الفلوس. I needed money. Okay. Now let's talk about the remark I told you earlier that I'm gonna talk about it at the end. And it is good news. We said that can must agree in gender, blah 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 blah, but that's not really true. Yeah, can doesn't have to agree in gender and number with that noun. Okay, some people when they talk they really follow that rule, but it's very fine to not follow it. Okay, you don't have to worry about saying can, كانت, كانوا. You don't have to worry about that. Okay, so you can say كان خاصني كتاب. I needed a book. كان خاصني كتاب. Okay, or كان خاصني مكانة. كان خاصني مكانة. I needed a watch. Okay, look, earlier we said كانت خاصاني مكانة. Here we are saying كان خاصني مكانة. Same meaning, okay? No problem. كان خاصني الفلوس. I needed money. كان خاصني الفلوس. Okay? Very fine. Instead of saying كانوا خاصيني الفلوس and worry about matching number and gender and all of that, you can just say كان خاصني الفلوس, and that's still correct. Okay?
North to south, come and see Moroccan